Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Five Star Joshi Show here on the Fight Game Media Network, as well as my YouTube channel, youtube.com/at Scott E Wrestling. I am your host, as always, Scott Edwards, and we have made it. It is officially All Star Grand Queendom Week. I feel like we've been talking about this show for months. Well, we have, but I'm excited. I am excited, so excited that if you didn't know, I got out my All-Star Grand Queendom preview ahead of time on my YouTube channel. Now, if you're listening to the podcast version of this week's 5 star, this preview will be added to the back end of the audio. So you will not miss out. It will have the complete version that is over on YouTube on the audio. If you are on YouTube watching this, then just go over and check out that video. That's where we will have the full preview for All Star Grand Queendom 2025. Now, we will go over the card here again because I did get to watch the Korakuen Hall show, which will just have some minor thoughts, but overall thoughts heading into each match will remain the same. So definitely check out that preview if you haven't. I feel like I did the proper hype, the proper necessary looks at each match and the future that may in fact be coming for Stardom as a whole. I will also be discussing on this show today the new match added to All Star Grand Queendom. So that will be special to this because we needed to add a match last second for some reason. I don't know why it needed to be added, but it was added nonetheless. So we'll talk about the Korakuen Hall show. But besides that, we'll also talk Meiko Satomura's upcoming retirement. Yes, Meiko Satomura has announced her retirement match. She will be retiring on Tuesday next week from professional wrestling. So we will do our best to start the celebration of her career. We'll also talk another retirement as a wrestler announced their retirement on Thursday, and we will also be previewing the upcoming week for Marigold because Marigold has Golden Week. For Stardom, we obviously won't know much until after All-Star Grand Queendom for their Golden Week festivities, so we'll just review those next week when the time comes, because next week we will have 2 episodes. We will have the live review. Yes. If you didn't know, now you know. On Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern, I will be doing a All-Star Grand Queendom 2025 live review over on the Fight Game Media Network YouTube channel. If you are here on this YouTube channel, I will also be clipping off some of my talking points from that show and posting them right here. Most likely, we will be posting stuff from the Saya Kamitani-Tam Nakano match. We'll also be posting probably another clip from one of the other matches. So if you're looking forward to that content, we will have plenty of content over the next week. I've still decided if we will how I will cover the Meiko Satomura retirement match. I might do a check it out for that. Keep your eyes peeled for that. But there is so much going down here. It is the busiest week in Joshi because, of course, it's all about All-Star Grand Queendom. But besides All-Star Grand Queendom, Marigold also has a ton. They are running tons for Golden Week, including a Korakuen Hall show on Friday. So by the time this is out, the show's already happened, but we will talk about it anyways. So anyways, with that being said, let's get to the show now, shall we? I think when it comes to the Stardom Korakuen Hall show, it was always going to be this one thing, and the one thing was going to be previews, right? We were going to preview, and that's what it was. It previewed the majority of the major matches on the show, if not all of them. But we also had the reveal of Suzuki's new faction, which we will talk about here in a second. But let's get to it, shall we? That, of course, the big news, or the number 2 big news, is that at Stardom All-Star Grand Queendom 2025, we have a new singles match. The singles match will be Tekla versus Sayaka Karara. This match was made official after the opener, where Momo Watanabe, Tekla, Ruaka, and Konami won, beating the Cosmic Angels, Aya Sakura, Natsupoi, Sariano, and Sayaka Karara. This is important because Tekla did get the pin in the match, and she ultimately went for Taro Okada once again. I don't know how other people feel about this. I'd love for you to sound off in the chat, or sorry, not the chat, but the comments, and let me know what your thoughts are on the Tekla Taro feud if you haven't already, because it's not interesting to me whatsoever. I don't feel the need to continuously involve the president of the company, and two, like, I don't know. You know how my feelings on Tekla. Like, this has to be leading to her getting fired in kayfabe and her exit, right? That's the only way this story would make sense at this stage. So shout out to Brad in the chat or in the comments. Brought that up of like, oh, maybe this leads to firing. That makes the most sense. And at this point, it kind of needs to be that. Otherwise, I don't know what we're doing. Um, but yes, Carrara will fight Tekla, and the rules are as follows. If Tekla wins, she gets to face Taro Okada one-on-one. If Sayaka Carrara wins, Tekla has to join Cosmic Angels, which I can't say that entices me whatsoever. But that is the direction they've announced. So let that be known. Let that be known. But let's get through the rest of this card from Korakuen and really talk about the main preview matches. So Momokogo defeated Yuri Hime. More worth noting, Natsuko Jora had to miss the show due to poor health. So hoping she's okay. The first main preview match was Rana Yagami and Tomoki Inaba defeating Hina and Lady C. This was kind of exactly what you were hoping to see, I think, out of Rana Yagami at this stage of her career, at this stage of the game, and at this stage of the build towards her and Hina. She showed improvement, she showed explosiveness, she showed excitement. That's what Rana needs to be bringing to the table, especially because they keep giving her these big opportunities. And I think it's very, very clear Rana Yagami has a bright future. That is without a doubt. But with the likes of Aya Sakura and Sayaka Carrara kind of getting the pushes they're getting, you don't want her to get left in the dust. So seeing her step up here and really have good chemistry with Hina has me even more excited for the future of Stardom Championship match on Sunday. You then have Nava, Fuki Death, and Rina defeating Kira Kuragane, Tabata, and Yuna Mizumori. Hazuki Koguma and Mayu Iwatani defeated Hanan, Saida, and Syuri in the double preview match. This match was very good. I've been saying for quite some time, and I know this, I've been saying for quite some time that when Mayu Iwatani and Syuri are on their highest level, there's no one on this planet better. It is just incredible to witness. It is incredible to watch because you are watching two all-time wrestlers go out there and be just that. Syuri has been on the back burner for 2 years, and I talk a lot about this on the preview, so definitely go check that out. But she's been on the back burner for 2 years. This is the most locked in she's been, and it's exciting. It's exhilarating. It's everything you want to see from Syuri. And on the other side is Mayu Iwatani. Mayu Iwatani has mostly had to do nothing this year, right? She had the AZM title change, and then it's been kind of nothing since then. This is something for her to dig her teeth into as well. And it makes for such an exciting preview here where they just went all out and really prepped you for what could be the match of the year on Sunday. In terms of Hazuki, Koguma, Saida, and Hanan, the disdain remains there between Hanan and Hazuki, right? There's tension there. Hazuki wanted nothing to do with Hanan, and I thought that was a good way to play it up in this match. Overall, they were great additions to the match and really added to the match. And we are in the possibility of having the tag team match of the year on Sunday as well. I thought that was great. I thought this was very good, well worth your time if you're wondering. Super duper exciting and exactly what you want from a preview trio. It's the second best match on this show. You then had the team of Maika, Hanako, Ryan, and Waka Tsukiyama facing the Sendai girls team of Chihiro Hashimoto, Yurika Oka, and Yuna. One, great to see Yurika Oka in a Stardom ring. Love Yurika Oka. Been wanting her to get the chance, and now she finally did. But ultimately, this was a another showcase for Chihiro Hashimoto, who dominantly, dominantly won and put I damn near put Waka Tsukiyama through the damn ring with the power bomb to win the match. I say on my preview to give a warning that I think Hashimoto wins, and while I still think she might, her getting the win here could be the red herring, right? It could be one of those things where, oh, we're giving her the win because ultimately Micah is going to be the one that wins on Sunday. I honestly, that is as 50-50 as it gets because I could see the understanding to have Micah win the Sendai Girls World Championship and eventually lose it back to Hashimoto at a Sendai Girls show. I think that makes all the sense in the world. But this was a fun tag. Certainly not to the level of the previous one, but the trios match that was right before it, but a fun tag nonetheless. And it definitely gets you excited for Micah versus Chihiro Hashimoto, which ultimately is all that matters at the end of the day. That's why this match happened. And then you had the mystery team of Suzuki and two members facing Sera, Kohaku, and Miyu Amasaki. And that mystery team ended up being Suzuki's new faction. She was joined by Rina Yamashita and Suki Aoki. A real surprise, I thought. And this is not just a one-off. This is not just a little something. No, no. No, no. This is a true, real faction. And that faction, of course, will go by the name of Mi Vida Loca. So I had said in the preview for this last week that perhaps Suzuki's faction, whatever it looked like, could fill the void for what DDM left, right? I don't think the cool factor of Donna Del Mondo has ever been filled, right? That was the tweener faction. And I think Mi Vida Loca can be that. Suzuki and Rina Yamashita as a pairing alone does a lot of work. Itsuki Aoki as the third member is a fun addition, and I think Yamashita and Aoki as a duo will be really fun. And then post-match where Akira Kurogane comes out and says, "I want in," that was great. Perfect fit. Perfect fit. If you're watching on YouTube, you see this faction, you look at this faction, you can't be anything but excited about this faction. There's just something about them. There is a cool factor. Um, there's a cool factor, and honestly, I think it really does fit Suzuki. It propels her to a top spot moving forward. And based on what I've seen from Rina Yamashita the past 2 weeks, she feels back, which is very exciting. So I'm very excited for Mi Vida Loca. That being said, in terms of the match itself, this was the first time we got any Suzuki Sera preview action. Holy hell. These two have the potential to steal the show. They legitimately have the potential to steal the show on Sunday. It was magic. It was electricity. It was exciting. It was eye-opening to how good they were against one another. I think they have something special. It's just a matter of, do they get the time to show how special that can be? Or is this the step one in a many step process? That is something we have to wait and see. But Mi Vida Loca is here. They are the new faction of Stardom. I'm excited to see kind of their merch and their vibe and the continuation. But I mean, look at the picture, man. It's badass. It's badass. I really like them. So happy for Suzu, happy for all of them. That should be fun. And then, of course, your main event of the evening was none other than Tam Nakano and Starlight Kid facing Saya Kamitani and AZM. Saya Kamitani and AZM wearing Queen's Quest style mask. I thought that was a nice touch. Though, to be fair, I did think of this, despite always being happy when I see Queen's Quest. I did think of this. It's very funny because in kayfabe, Saya Kamitani lost Queen's Quest and then moved on to hate, right? Left her in the dark. But I guess a part that that you can easily forget is that her and AZM never had like a split. right? There was never hatred towards one another there. So I remember that while watching their entrance and seeing them pose, I was like, I kind of like this. There's no reason for Azumi to have a problem with Saya Kamitani. Obviously, she lost Queen's Quest and had to join Hate, but that's because she was lonely at the time. And I think that's a fascinating twist to the overarching Sai Kamitani story. I also found it interesting, right? We are on the brink of a potential retirement match for either of these two. And, Saya got the team with Azumi. It's just one of those things where you're like, interesting. Um, but as you'd expect, this match was to preview the top two matches for All Star Grand Queendom, and it was great. It was great. It was the hype, the excitement that you hope for from the top two matches of the biggest show, possibly in Stardom's history. Um, that Starlight Kid looks solid. I know she's been dealing with the injury. She's still taped up and all that. But she looked like Starlight Kid. So nothing's holding her back. It seems like her and Azumi will have one hell of a match. And then, Tam Nakano and Saya Kamitani. The realization hit me that this is very likely the last preview match between these two. Thank God. And I say that not because like I'm happy that one of them's retiring. No, no, no. I'm just happy that it's the last preview match for at least a while because we have seen these two wrestle and wrestle and wrestle and wrestle and listen, they've had great matches, they've had great preview matches, but it'll be nice for Saya or Tam to move on to something new. But if you're looking for matches to watch this, watch the trios. Really watch the whole show. It was a hell of a show. Free on YouTube as well, but a great way to get everyone prepared for the upcoming weekend. As I said, if you're listening to the podcast MP3 version of this, at the end of the show will be our All Star Grand Queendom preview. If you want to check that out, that is already posted on YouTube, my YouTube channel, youtube.com/ at Scott E Wrestling. That is there. You can check it out now if you haven't already. If you have, check it out again. But that's 1 hour of talking all the matches from the show. That will close out the podcast version. If you're over on YouTube, though, just go over and check it out there. But we'll quickly do a rundown here of the matches on All Star Grand Queendom, just in case you maybe already listened to the preview but want a refresher. Here is your rundown of the official card. First off, you'll have the Stardom Rumble. That will be the pre-show match. Then you'll have some form of Sayaka Carrara versus Tekla with the uh, right to face Taro Okada on the line, as well as the potential of Tekla going to Cosmic Angels. You'll have Hina versus Rana Yagami for the future of Stardom Championship. Yumika Hoda goes one-on-one with Rina. Mei Sera and Suzuki face off in a special singles match. The rivalry is going to be very exciting. I'm interested if Vida Loca. I don't know like if Rina Yamashita and Izuki Aoki are going to be around all the time or not, but seems there's potential there. It's more of me wondering, will Suzu be teaming with Akira a lot, and then those two come in for some shows? That remains to be seen, but we do know that is the faction. So fascinating to see if they're involved here at this show. Well, Sayoriano, Natsupoi, and Aya Sakura facing Meiko Satomura, Miko Wada, and Yuna. This will be Meiko Satomura's final match in a Stardom ring. We then will have Chihiro Hashimoto defending the the Sendai Girls World Championship against Maika. Wingori face FWC with the Goddesses of Stardom Championships on the line. This should be good. You have the IWGP Women's title back on the line as well. It'll be Mayu Iwatani defending against Syuri for the second time in her reign. Starlight Kid defends the Wonder of Stardom Championship against Azumi, and of course, the career versus career main event for the World of Stardom Championship. It'll be Saya Kamitani versus Tam Nakano. One wrestler's career will end. That will be interesting. But like I said, go check out that preview now over on the YouTube channel, or skip to the end if you're listening on podcast if you want to hear it now. So that is it for the world of Stardom here on the podcast otherwise. But let's talk about what Sendai Girls has cooking up this weekend, because it's massive. First off, starting with the show in Sendai Pit, the final Sendai match for Meiko Satomura is indeed this upcoming weekend. It's a big deal because Meiko Satomura is not only a legend, but she has, obviously put Sendai Girls on the map, and her competing in Sendai is a big thing. So we will see the following card. It will be Yuna versus Hanoka in the opening match. This match was just added the other day. It'll be Miyuki Takase, Soy, and Lena Cross facing Manami, Yu, and Maria Kuga. That should be a fun trios match. You have Yura Suzuki going one-on-one with Mika Owada. In the semi-main event, lock in, folks. This is what it's all about. You have Syuri teaming up with Tomoka Inaba to face Chihiro Hashimoto and Yurika Oka. That should be fantastic. And your main event, Meiko Satomura's final match in Sendai. It will be Ryo Mizunami and Hiroyo Matsumoto teaming up to face Meiko Satomura and Dash Chisako. That should be sensational. But let's talk about it. This upcoming Tuesday is the official retirement of Meiko Satomura. The show will be Satomura the Final in Tokyo at a sold-out Korakuen Hall. Your opening match will be Senka Akatsuki and Yura Suzuki facing Yurika Oka and Yuna. That is a good match to showcase the future. Then you'll have Jaguar Yokota and Mayumi Ozaki teaming up. They'll face Shin Sakura Harada and X. I have tossed around the idea of Chigusa Nagayo. I think that would be sensational. It's going to be a legend. I'm pretty confident it'll be some sort of legend. So that'll be interesting to see. And then you have the two undercard matches. You have a battle royal that will feature Miyuki Takase, Yu, Hiroyo Matsumoto, Chikayo Nagashima, Sonoko Kato, Zones, Soy, Ryo Mizunami, and two X's. So two mysteries there as well. And in the semi-main event, it will be Veni teaming up with Lana Cross and Nina Samuels to face the super trio, it feels like, of Syuri, Miko Wada, and Dash Chisako. But let's appreciate the retirement match of one Meiko Satomura. And that, of course, is this. It will be the Meiko retirement match. Meiko Satomura teams with Manami to face Chihiro Hashimoto and Aja Kong. This is going to be emotional. It's going to be fantastic as well, but it's going to be emotional. I think there was so much wonder, at least from myself and many others, of what is fitting for Meiko's retirement, right? What is fitting for it? And you toss so many ideas around, and you kind of hope the Sendai Girls crew of some sort is involved, right? But you also toss around of maybe a super match, right? It's Meiko's retirement match. It's massive. It's important. It's everything. And there's only one. And instead of picking a singles match, she is involving some of the most important people in her career. And maybe the biggest shock to many, but one that's so deserving, that, of course, is Manami. Seeing Manami's name in this match, I think if you followed Manami, if you followed Sendai Girls, you know how awesome that is. You can appreciate them giving her the chance. You can really almost tear up at the idea of her getting the opportunity, because Manami is someone who, through sheer hard work and determination, has made herself stand out. She has made herself stand out. She has made people take notice of her. And it's very apparent that Meiko Satomura feels the same. There's a reason she is teaming with her in her final pro wrestling match ever, and she's facing two of her all-time perfect rivals, and that, of course, is her top student, Chihiro Hashimoto, and freaking Aja Kong. Like, it's perfect. It really is. I I can't believe there's a reality where both Tam and Meiko retire in a 3-day span, and that is the reality we very much are living in. Um, but just to focus on, uh, this match a little bit. Hashimoto and Aja Kong are going to be phenomenal as a duo. This is probably like Aja Kong versus Sanka Katsuki, which I talked about last week on the Mania Week Joshi reviews. That was fantastic, right? And that was 5 minutes. Aja Kong is going to put in such an incredible performance in this match because one, it's what she does in the big match, but two, it's Meiko's retirement match. She is going to go all out. And sitting here and just thinking of like what this match looks like and the potential of where this match could go, it's going to be one of the great matches of the year. Within the span of a week, we're going to have multiple match of the year contenders, if that matters to you. But we're going to have multiple very, very emotional moments more so than anything else. I'm very excited for what this match is and what this match presents. It's the present and future of Sendai Girls. It's the present and future of professional wrestling. And once it's over, the past as well. Satomura, the final is this Tuesday. I believe it airs officially at 11:30 Japan time, which is 10:30 PM Eastern on Monday night. So you can watch this live very easily over on Wrestling Universe, and you should. You should watch this live over on Wrestling Universe. It's gonna be one hell of a show. It's gonna be one hell of a show. It's gonna be an emotional show. It's sold out to the rafters. Like this is all in. This is all in. So I cannot wait for this match. I can't wait to say so long to a legend of this sport, an absolute legend. Can't wait. Speaking though of retirements, it was revealed on Thursday. One of my favorites will be retiring. That, of course, is Risa Sera. Brings some emotion to me because I love Risa Sera. I really do. She became a favorite of mine when I really started getting into more Joshi beyond Stardom. And obviously her work within 2022 in Stardom as part of the Prominence run-in was really great. Her match with Syuri was fantastic. She's had multiple matches with Suzuki that have been fantastic. She's had a career that's been fantastic. But she announced she retired for pro wrestling January 12th, 2026. And uh, she has gone as far as say, listen, she wants to retire when she's still at a mode where she can do this. And I appreciate that. Now, I would be silly to avoid what I've seen from her over the past year, and that is not the same Risa Sera that I'm accustomed to. Um, Even still, I know that she has it in there, but it it was an emotional moment for me, kind of, seeing this announced, right? Seeing this revealed the same time Suzuki's forming a new faction. It Timing is everything in many ways, right? But at the same time, it's also like it's also emotional. It's also emotional. It's also something that you sit here and you pay attention to all the retirements that are happening this year, right? Hikari Shimizu, Tei Honma, Yuki Miyazaki, Deborah Kay. Those, some of the smaller names, but then of course Nai Takahashi at the end of May. Meiko Satomura, as I just talked about, probably Tam Nakano. It's a lot. Sumi Sakai also retired this year. I know she hasn't been in Japan wrestling, but it's another one. Arisa Nakajima last year. It's a lot. The scene is losing a lot of crucial names, and Risa Sera is a big one. I think from the indie point of view, for sure. So I'm gonna miss Risa Sera. I'm gonna follow her final few months of her career the best I can. I'm gonna root her on. I think everyone else should too. But I will say this: I am happy that she is getting to do this on her own accord, right? Again, I say that every time. While I am sad that she's going to be retiring, I'm happy that she gets to do it on her own terms. That's always super duper important. And when we get to that retirement match, whatever that may be, it'll be very emotional. I just hope this is my only hope. I hope her and Suzuki get in there one more time and have an emotional match before it's all said and done. It'll feel right based on their careers and trajectory and so on. So hopefully that does indeed happen. The final part of today of the normal podcast here will be the Marigold section. Marigold has announced the majority of their Golden Week schedule here because Golden Week starts this weekend. Golden Week, for those who don't know, is the busiest week in Japan. It is a holiday week. There is so much pro wrestling. It's seemingly every single day, every single moment. Stardom is running, obviously, All Star Grand Queendom this weekend, right? Stardom is running All Star Grand Queendom this weekend. Then they are running on Tuesday in Hiroshima, Thursday in Kagawa, Saturday, Sunday, and are they doing Monday? And Monday. That is all their show. Oh, sorry. And Tuesday of the week after. Golden Week lasts that long. That is a lot of wrestling, and they're not alone. Marigold's running on Friday, Saturday, Sunday this week. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Let's see. Tuesday. And then I think they're off until the next weekend, but then they have a show on Saturday and another Korakuen on the Sunday. So this is my point. Golden Week is filled with shows, and Stardom obviously can't announce their cards because we have a lot on the line on this Sunday. But Marigold has, despite having the Korakuen on Friday. So let's dig into the shows that we do know. We'll review them all. We're going to review all the Stardom ones as well. And that will be something to look forward to on next Friday's episode. We're going to have a bunch of content over the next week. So definitely subscribe to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/@ScottyWrestling. If you listen to the 5-Star Joshi Show over on the Fight Game Media channels, right? If you listen to them on the feed, definitely go check it out because I will be doing as much content as possible over the next week with Meiko's retirement, All-Star Grand Queendom, and so much more, right? Golden Week is stuffed. We're gonna have to space it out and do as much content as possible. So I promise you there will be some extra stuff over the next week. You don't want to miss it. But let's get into it. Starting with the Korakuen Hall show on Friday. Of course, it's already probably happened by the time you're hearing this. But if it hasn't, or if you haven't watched it yet and you're interested, here is the card. You have Hummingbird versus Kamomo Manami versus Nagisa Tachibana. This is the official return of Kamomo Manami, which is obviously awesome to see. Kamomo Manami was really a budding rookie, I think. I think by the time she got hurt, she was really starting to put things together, which was a heartbreaker. But it's awesome to see that she is back. And not only is she back, she's in full time going. She's been ringside number of times over the past she's been in the ring number of times or ringside a number of times over the past couple shows. So that should be a lot of fun to see her back in the ring. Next up, you have Yuki Minami going one-on-one with Riara. In trios action, it'll be Ryoko Sakamura stepping up from the early tags. She'll be teaming with Chen Yoda and Arima Yamanaka. They'll be taking on Nagisa Nozaki, Megaton, and Gigaton. Then you gotta get to the big three on the cork, and starting with the Twin Star Tag Team Championship match will be Nanai Takahashi and Syuri Yamaoka defending the championships against Chiaki and Misa Matsui of Darkness Revolution. This is an opportunity for Chiaki to specifically have what I think is possibly the biggest match of her career. Hopefully, the best performance of her career. That's kind of what you're looking for here. Obviously, the Twin Star Tag Belts have been, I think, the MVPs of Marigold for the majority of the company's run. The Passion family, the Passion duo here have been fantastic champions with those belts. So I'm hyped for this match. I've been going back and forth on who wins. Obviously, Nanai and Syuri don't have too long as a duo, much longer, with Nanai retiring at the end of next month on the 24th. We're actually, as of this recording, a month away. Um, so you would think a title change makes a lot of sense here. So you could probably defend them on Shine Forever. So I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna say it. I think Darkness Revolution is able to cheat their way to stealing these tag belts from the Passion family and taking them home themselves. Now, does that make me sad? For sure. Absolutely. Love the Passion family. But they only got one Cork and Hall show in this month, and that is next weekend. So if it's gonna happen, right? If it's gonna happen, it's gonna probably happen now. And I think this is where we see new Twin Star champions crowned. It'll give Misa Matsui her first belt, Chiaki her second Twin Star reign, actually. So that'll be fascinating. But definitely keep an eye on that. Should be a very good match. And then in the semi-main event, it will be the world title. Um, what was the word that they use? Essentially, Mirai is trying to prove herself to she's trying to prove herself to Tommy. Tommy refuses to give her the title shot until she proves it. So with that being said, I think Mirai pins Utami in this match. I think this match is going to be great. Mirai and Mai Sakurai back together. Murasaku, I really love that faction. And then, Yuzuki and Utami back together, which is great. This is all the top three singles champions plus Mirai. It's time to build Mirai up. And her getting a clean win over Utami in the semi-main event will be great. So looking forward to that one, or it goes to a draw. That's also very possible. But then you have your main event of this show, which will be Marigold versus Marvelous Part 3. It will be Miku Ueno, Natsumi Shozuki, Chika Goto, Kazuna Tanaka, and Ria Seto representing Marigold against the Marvelous team of Takumi Iroha, Riko Kawahara, Maria Ihozan, and Sora Ayame. So a lot of new debuts here from the Marvelous side of things into Marigold. I believe it's called a knockout match, which I'm sure means elimination match, which makes this very intriguing to see how it goes down. It's very apparent I think we are building to Miku versus Takumi. That is the main selling point. And I would have Marvelous win this match. I would have Marvelous win this match. I think that'd be an incredible curveball to close out the Marigold show, and it could lead to Miku versus Takumi. Now, if you want to build to Miku versus Takumi, potentially for the AAAW or something, maybe you have Miku beat Takumi here instead. I think that's also fascinating. Nonetheless, I'm very excited for this. The Marigold Marvelous story has been an exciting one to follow, and this latest chapter feels like still just the beginning of where things are going because so many members of this roster are getting involved. And it'll be cool to see Magenta here, Sora, and Ihozan all jumping in. The reason Senka's not on the show is because she will be over in Tenru Project, team with Yuna to face Meiko Satomura and Chigusa Nagayo. So I know people missing Senka. They were hoping Senka would be on this show. She's already promised she will be back, but she has to do that match. So looking forward to that, but this should be a great Korakuen show. That is on Friday, like I said, airing live on Wrestle Universe. The next show from Marigold is in Osaka. The card is as follows. You have Kimono Manami versus Riara. You have Hummingbird teaming with Flying Penguin to take on Megaton and Gigaton. That sounds like a nightmare. You have Natsumi Shozuki, Ryoko Sakamura teaming up to face Yuki Minami and Nagisa Tachibana. And then you have the team of Mai Sakurai, Miku Ano, and Shikagoto taking on Nagisa Nozaki, Chiaki, and Misa Matsui. That match should be great. That match should be great. Really look forward to that one. And then your main event will be Utami Hayashishita, Victoria Yuzuki, and Kazuna Tanaka taking on Mirai, Syuri Yamaoka, and Ria Seto. This should be a lot of fun as well in Osaka. So looking forward to those. And then in the next day in Nagoya, yes, this is the big one, folks. I know this is the one a lot of people are waiting for. First up, you have Hummingbird, Ryoko Sakamura versus Nagisa Tachibana and Riara. Should be a fun opener. You have Syuri Yamaoka going one-on-one with Kimono Minami. That's one of the matches I definitely have circled from the upcoming Golden Week for Marigold. You'll have Chikagoto teaming with Yuki Minami to face Misa Matsui and Gigaton. Then you will have trios action. It'll be Mai Sakurai, Miku Ano, and Kazuna Tanaka to take on Nagisa Nozaki, Megaton, and Chiaki. And then, of course, the 5-minute exhibition, the return to the ring for Jungle Kyona. It will be Nanai Takahashi going one-on-one with Jungle Kyona as part of the Passion Countdown. It's going to be very emotional. The fact that Jungle is returning to the ring is obviously a great thing, even if it's for 5 minutes, right? Even if it's for 5 minutes, it's special. It's important. It's going to be emotional. It's going to be great. I'm wishing her nothing but the best in these 5 minutes. I hope everything goes right. I hope she can feel that passion again and really, really, really get to love wrestling. And if she can, have one little final run, that's great. If this is it, that's great too. Whatever works best for Jungle, I'm just happy to see this happening. Pretty surreal it's happening. I'm really looking forward to this match. For those wondering, this will be video on demand. It will be available on Tuesday. And then your main event, it'll be Utami Hayashishita teaming Victoria Yuzuki to take on Mirai and Ria Seto. That should also be a very good main event. And then over on Tuesday, the 29th, their final show until next weekend. This is your show as follows. It'll be Hummingbird and Riara going one-on-one. You have Yuki Minami, Nagisa Tachibana, and Ryoko Sakamura facing Megaton, Gigaton, and Chiaki. Miku Ano, Natsumi Shozuki, and Chikagoto team up. They'll face Victoria Yuzuki, Ria Seto, and Kazuna Tanaka. Then in your semi-main event, this is a kind of an eye-opening one. You'll have Mai Sakurai and Chan Yoda teaming up to face Misa Matsui and Nagisa Nozaki. I think that should be really good. And then your main event, Utami Hayashishita and Kimono Minami team up, I should say, to face off with Mirai and Syuri Yamaoka. So that is the upcoming week from Marigold. That is all the beginning of Golden Week. It very much goes over to the next week as well, which we will talk about. But with that, that is it for the normal Joshi episode this week. Because I did the Joshi reviews, the Mania Week Joshi reviews over on the other recording, which you could check out now if you haven't already. That is over on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/@ScottyWrestling, a exclusive to the YouTube channel, but part of the 5-Star Joshi Show for sure. If you haven't checked that out and you want to check that out, that is available now. Definitely go check it out. I put a lot of work into that, watching all the matches and so on. But because I reviewed all those, the show was going to be a little shorter. But like I said, if you're on the MP3 version, you can sit and wait because the All Star Grand Queendom preview is officially about to start. But if you're over on YouTube, go over and click on that. Go check that out. That is my full thoughts on the upcoming show, the biggest show on Stardom's calendar, and the one of, if not the biggest shows of the year. Finally, Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern, over on the Fight Game Media YouTube channel, it will be myself and others talking All-Star Grand Queendom 2025. It's going to be one hell of a show, one hell of a card, 2 p.m. Eastern, over on the YouTube channel. Make sure you follow me on Twitter, Blue Sky, wherever it may be. I will put all the information out so you don't miss it. Looking forward to doing that review. I always love doing live reviews. Should be special. And like I said, while there's not anything official yet, I do plan to do something special for Meiko Satomura's retirement. Assuming Tam Nakano's retiring, I want to put some content together for that, and we'll have plenty over the next week. It's the biggest time of the year. Some videos will just come naturally, some otherwise not so, but definitely subscribe to the YouTube channel. That's where I'm doing all my content. That is what I'm putting all together. And then one last plug, check out the joshiinformer.substack.com, the best newsletter going today, covering everything in the world of Joshi each and every week, drops every Friday. We also have a preview out. We tried a special different change up type thing where we put together a preview for All Star Grand Queendom 2025. That's in a separate post, so definitely check that out. That dropped on Thursday night. But thank you everyone for listening. Like I said, if you're on the MP3 version, stay tuned. We have much more. If you're not, definitely check out the All Star Grand Queendom preview if you haven't already. But that's it from me. Until next time, everyone, so long, farewell, and enjoy the show this weekend. See ya.